Are you in the mood for fall already? I definitely am, and that's why I would love to share my fall knitting plans with you today. There is just this slight hint of fall in the air already. You can notice it both in the mornings and in the evenings around here. I really love it. It makes me so excited for fall. And since I have been feeling a bit under the weather lately, I had this, I don't know how to describe it, like a strong urge to wrap myself in some wool. And that's why I'm so excited that fall is going to be arriving here soon, I think. By the way, this is my Timepiece Cardigan, a knitting pattern by Ibina McLaughlin. I knitted it in Nutiden yarn from Honor och Air, so an unspun yarn. The colorway is called Livslinje, and I think it was from the January collection of this year. This was my first time knitting with Nutiden yarn. I held the yarn double, and I had bought 300 grams of it, and it was just barely enough to make this cardigan. I had to make the sleeves 3/4 length, but I'm very happy with it, and it is a perfect layering piece. The dress I'm wearing underneath it is just a classic linen dress from Old Linen Mill, and it is actually going to be quite warm here later today, and then I'm just going to take off the cardigan and enjoy my linen dress on this hot summer day. But for now, it's currently still in the morning. It is a bit cooler, and that's why I enjoy layering wool over linen. I also have some hot water with some lemon. I was thinking about the word, some lemon and honey with me. It is homemade honey because we do have our own bees. This is what I'm going to be drinking throughout the video. So I hope you get cozy as well, and let's get started looking at some beautiful cozy fall knitting patterns, shall we? So something I wanted to mention up front is that I am personally more of a minimalist when it comes to my wardrobe. So that's why I like to knit pieces that I can easily incorporate into my existing wardrobe. And like this cardigan, this is a perfect example. I really like to have layering pieces for the fall so that I can easily take them off when it gets a little bit warmer. And besides this cardigan, which is the Timepiece Cardigan, like I just mentioned, I also have another cardigan that I love to wear. It is the Sunday Cardigan by Petite Knit. I'm going to put up a picture for you so that you can see. I made it in this gorgeous hot pink color, which is Ask from Hillesvåg, and I absolutely love to wear this one as well. And in addition, for this fall, I would love to make 2 more cardigans to use as layering pieces. So the first cardigan that I would really love to make is some kind of a green cardigan. Let me show you the yarn. So I got this beautiful unspun yarn from Honor och Air. So this is Nutiden yarn in the colorway Vidunder, which I think means something like a dragon or like a creature, an old creature, I'm not sure, but I think the name fits this like deep dark green with a gray undertone perfectly. I just bought it in the recent shop update in, when was that, August I think. And like I said, I'm going to be making a cardigan with it. Let me show you what I did so far, because I did swatch. So I did make a swatch holding the Vidunder double, and this is how it is looking. I have to say, this looks really dark to me, and I'm not sure if I want a cardigan that is that dark. I had something a bit lighter in mind, so I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but I feel like the unspun plate looks a lot greener than the swatch, and I actually prefer the color of the plate. So that's why I thought I could hold the Vidunder single and use just a different kind of yarn together with it. So at first I tried this yarn, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade of green. So this is sea green from Iona Wool Double Knit. And I actually used this yarn to make a sweater. Let me show you the sweater. This is the Mountain Mist sweater by Tinker Knits. And I absolutely loved this pattern, and I also really liked this yarn. This is all Iona Wool Double Knit. And my favorite color of the whole sweater is this sea green. But I have to say, I hardly wear this sweater, which is such a pity. I think this is due to the fact that it is really warm, and I simply prefer wearing cardigans because they are easier to take off or put on if you get a little bit colder. And I'm just not much of a really warm sweater person. I don't know. When I go outside, I usually put on my winter jacket anyway, so that I'm not cold. And when I'm inside, it is usually too warm to wear this sweater. So that's why it doesn't get pretty much anywhere. And I thought that I could maybe unravel it. So it is knitted top down. I could start unraveling it from the bottom up. And this is how much yarn I have left. So it is 300 grams of the sea green in total. And I also have 300 grams of the Vidunder. And then I thought, okay, I could combine those yarns and knit myself a new cardigan, because I just don't like keeping things in my wardrobe that don't get a lot of wear. I also just have a tiny dresser and it just doesn't work for me. So then I made a swatch. Let me show you. I started swatching here. So this is one strand of the sea green together with one strand of the Vidunder. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell, but I think the contrast is just too much for me. I think you can really see the difference between the two colors, and it is not really a heathered look, but more of a like extreme marling, and I don't really like it. So then I swatched with 2 strands of the Vidunder, but it's so funny compared to the swatch with the sea green. This almost only looks dark gray or even brown in my opinion. So the green is not really coming out here. And then I did a third option, which is here up top. I used 2 strands of the Vidunder and 1 strand of the sea green. So that is looking more like what I had in mind, but it is still not really what I was going for. So now I'm not sure what to do. I could either use the 2 strands of Vidunder held double, but I only have 300 grams of it, so I might have to crop the cardigan. Or I also thought about purchasing some silk mohair, maybe the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the colorway, I think it's called petroleum green maybe. I'm going to put up a picture for you so that you can see. I think this could work really nicely with the Vidunder and shift the color of this beautiful unspun yarn just a little bit more towards the green. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I'm not sure what to do now because it is just not working out like what I had in my mind with the sea green from Iona Wool. The patterns I am considering are the Turtle Dove Cardigan by Sonde Yarn Co. So this is a very beautiful pattern. It is actually available for free, which I think is awesome. I'm going to link it for you in the description box. The shape is very similar to the Timepiece Cardigan, I think. So you have this integrated button band, which doesn't actually have any buttons. And it is knitted top down with a little bit of more of a relaxed fit. And I would really love to make this one. Another option would of course be knitting another Timepiece Cardigan. I've already got the pattern for it, so this would be an easy option as well. The Timepiece Cardigan pattern actually comes with 2 different gauges. You can either knit a DK weight or an Aran weight version, and this one is the Aran weight version. Another cardigan knitting pattern that I am considering is Quicksand by Heidi Kiermaier. I have knitted several patterns of Heidi Kiermaier before, and I really like her design aesthetic. So this is another example for an open front cardigan. It is drapey, elegant, a bit minimalistic, which I quite like, so this might be an option for me as well. Another similar design is called Hart by Julie Hoover. And this one has this beautiful lace panel running down the back, which is also very interesting. Another beautiful option is the In Stillness Cardigan by Alicia Plummer, which has this texture in the form of a broken rib motif in the upper part of the front. And it's otherwise also very simple and classic, and I would really like to make this one as well. So I'm not sure yet. I am definitely going to make myself a green cardigan this fall, but we'll see what I decide about the yarn and also the pattern. All right, next up is another cardigan made out of unspun yarn. So in the August shop update, I not only got the Vidunder, but also 500 grams of this beautiful colorway, which is called Nogran. It is a very interesting color. It looks like a very dark beige or light brown, but it also can look a little bit pink, which I quite like. And at first I wasn't convinced that I even wanted this colorway, but when Caroline, the owner of Honor of Air, showed it in her podcast, I really fell in love with it, and I'm so happy that I got it because I will definitely love wearing a cardigan in this colorway. So in her podcast, Caroline showed a very, very beautiful cardigan that she or someone of her team knitted in this colorway. The pattern was a mashup of actually two different knitting patterns. So they used the Slanted Sleeven by Annika Strick as the base, and then they added some color work both at the bottom hem and the sleeve cuffs, and they used the color work motif from the, I think it's called the Lunenburg pullover. Let me check. Yes, the Lunenburg pullover by Amy Christoffers. And I loved how this came out. So I would love to make something similar. In fact, I already made a swatch, and this time I am just going to use the Nutiden yarn. So I'm going to hold it double, and this is how the swatch is looking. And let me tell you, after I've knitted so much with cotton linen blends or even just solo plant-based fibers over the last couple of months, it has been just so nice of holding like a rustic wool yarn in my hands and knitting with it. So I'm so excited for this cardigan. I'm not sure if I am also going to purchase the Lunenburg pullover pattern to use the exact colorwork motif, or if I'm going for something just a little bit different. We'll see. I probably start making the cardigan, which is knitted from the top down, and then I'm going to decide as I go. And what I'm also considering to make to go along with the cardigan is a dress, so a sewn dress. I got these linen samples in this gingham, so I have those two. I got these samples when I purchased some kitchen towels just a couple of weeks ago off of Etsy. I'm going to put up the name of the linen brand because I currently cannot remember from the top of my head. So I got these samples, and I just think that a tunic style dress would just look so nice together with the Nogran cardigan. We'll see if I get around to it, but I think this would be a very lovely combination. All right, so apparently this is the Nutiden show today because the next pattern I have planned is one I'm also going to knit with unspun yarn. So this is also Nutiden yarn. This is the colorway Apostrophe from, what was that? I think the March collection of this year. And when I received the color, it was a little bit redder than what I anticipated. I hope it will suit me well. I'm not sure yet, but I decided to tone the colorway down just a little bit, and I'm going to hold it together with a strand of tin silk mohair by Stillness Cardi. So this is the colorway 3511, which is just like a dusty shade of pink. And I already swatched. So this is how the swatch is looking, holding those two yarns together. This is a lace motif. I'm not sure if this is the perfect yarn combination for a lace motif like this, or if the lace is just getting a little bit lost, but I'm going with it anyway, and I'm so excited. I am going to knit myself a dress from a vintage knitting pattern called Open Stripes. I bought it off of Etsy and it was like just $3 or something like that. And I'm very interested to see how it will come out. It is going to be an interesting knit for sure, because the pattern comes in, I think, only 3 different sizes, and it's only 1.5 pages long, so not very detailed. But I think I can figure it out, and yeah, I'm very excited for a cozy knit dress this fall. Okay, let's move on to a sweater knitting project now. I would absolutely love to make a very cozy, bit oversized sweater for myself this fall, or maybe I might push it into winter, we'll see. And let me show you the yarn I'm going to use, or the fiber rather. So this is some carded merino fiber that I got years ago when I started to learn how to spin with a drop spindle, and I got, I think, 300 grams in total, and never really used it because it is quite low spinning with a drop spindle. But since I have a spinning wheel now, which you might be able to see sitting here in the background, and I practice a bit, and I am able to create a more or less even yarn now, I am very much looking forward to spinning up a sweater's quantity for myself. So I am thinking about spinning this as a single and then holding it together with a strand of lace weight cashmere. So this is the cashmere yarn, and as you might be able to tell, it looks a bit crinkly, and this is due to the fact that this is yarn that I unraveled from a store-bought sweater. So let me show you, this is just parts of it. I caked up some yarn, but I have lots more left, and it is quite fine. And I already did this years ago when I really got into repurposing old sweaters that had holes in it or we just didn't wear anymore. This did belong to my father-in-law, and he didn't want it anymore, so I took it, unraveled it. It took like lots and lots of hours, and I would really love to make something with it because it is just so nice. But as is the case with a lot of store-bought sweaters, the yarn is very, very fine. And I think it would be a perfect way to combine this lace weight cashmere with the merino. And I did make a tiny swatch, so I spun the merino fiber as a single, and then I plied it together with the strand of cashmere. So I'm not sure if this was a clever move. If there are any spinners watching, please let me know if this even makes sense, plying a single strand of hand spun fiber with a already plied yarn, or if I should just take the single merino strand and hold it together with the cashmere yarn while I knit. I have no idea. I just tried it and I applied it, and this is how it came out. I really, really like this mild look it gives as a comparison swatch. I also made this one. So this was one of my earlier spinning experiences where I still wasn't sure how to get the yarn consistently thick or thin. So that's why it looks a bit all over the place. But this was just to get a feeling of how the yarn would look on its own. So this is just like a flat gray, I would say. And this is how it looks with the cashmere combined. Let me know what you think. I think I like this a little bit more. It also feels a lot softer due to the added cashmere. And I would really like to use the cashmere for a project. So I think this might be a nice combo. The patterns I am considering are the sweater number 28 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So this is a beautiful, oversized, all over ribbed motif. And I really like it. I saw it on the Knitting a Good Yarn podcast, and I think both Carmen and Jackie made it, and it looked stunning, and I've had it in my favorites ever since. Another option would be the ribbed jumper by Anne Wenzel. It has a similar aesthetic, but it is more of a broken rib motif and would also look really nice. So let me know what you think in the comments, please. All right, and in order not to overwhelm myself and plan for too many projects this fall, because fall is only going to be so long before we move into winter, I decided to make one more thing, and it is an accessory. I would love to make the Nightshift shawl by Andrea Mowry and to do it in my own handspun. So this is my handspun. I have 2 skeins of it, and it is 300 grams in total. This is a 100% BFL yarn that I spun as a 2-ply, and I did a combo spin. So I had 2 different braids. One was in blue turquoise tones, one was more purplish, and one was undyed white. And I divided the braids into lots of small balls. I see if I can put up a picture for you so that you can see. And then I put them in a large bag and just took out one ball after the other and spun them just as they came. And I did this for split the total amount of balls in half and spun the one half on the one bobbin and the other half on the other bobbin, and then I just did a simple 2-ply, and this is how it came out. I'm really loving it, and I'm so interested in seeing how it is going to look when it is knitted up. I would love to combine it with a solid colorway. I am thinking about a gray or maybe a dark blue. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't have the main color for it yet. So I'm still considering options, but I am definitely going to make the Nightshift shawl because I already bought the pattern when Andrea Mowry had her birthday sale just a couple of weeks back. So those are my knitting and sewing plans for fall of 2024. If you are looking for even more pattern inspiration, I did film a video where I showed lots of different fall appropriate knitting patterns, which you can find here. Let me know what you are planning to make, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!